Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Hope you all are doing well. We are having an emergency analysis meeting because there are some things that is happening right now in the market. We need to go and check that. Let's go ahead and start with it because we have absolutely no time. So, in the previous video, we were talking about this level on Dixie that we are hovering between two levels, uh, literally ping ponging for a while, like for the couple, like for 4 days. Now, it has broken with a bullish engulfing candle right below this trend line. So, what does it mean? It means this trend line that was going to be flipped so we can start trending upward on US dollar, it has broken back toward the downside, and it means that crypto from now on is in good hands. We should start accumulating again. And just a few hours ago I warned everybody that to still maintain their risk, but after this, you can see that we are getting a lot good signals. So I still have to warn you because anything could happen. But you know that we have already invested a lot in several coins. But for the future dump that I wanted it to come, that hasn't happened. So let me accept more people in the meeting. Now, um, for that to happen, which still could happen because October is not done yet, um, but this indicates a fake out. So this fake out would mean that we are right now in a good place to buy all the other cryptos. Let me show you another example. Uh, okay, this is not exhausted yet. So USD against Canadian dollar would also mean that Canadian dollar is weak. So this will not indicate. But if this falls, it will just support US dollar going down and it's good for crypto. At the moment, just keep it this way. And another one, which is this whole supply zone that was previously tried to break. Now it's again at this level. We had a quick run up toward this resistance, you can see, but now as you are watching right now, when this 4 hour candle closed, we are back to normal, literally, because this is a very good signal. But if you go like 4 hours before, this is how it was looking like. It was really looking scary. So that's why I warned you that for buying a lot, let me see. It's not allowing me to go back. Anyways, so if you don't see the right side, this is not looking good. When it was coming here, it was absolutely green. That's why now it is confirmed that the market should be going up from now on, inshallah. So the risk is now also less if we are going to invest in several coins. On the other hand, from this mid range, you can see that total is being rejected, but this was also a level that gave us this pullback. So this is what we're looking at potentially um, for the upcoming days. We should see the market going back to rallying, and this is for total too. Without Bitcoin, you can see that the price is holding this level of demand and the support level. So this is the entire zone, and on top of that, just a little bit higher, it's trying to hold this level of support. And this is again a hammer with an like which has engulfed the previous candles. So this is very good. This is very good. Please manage your risk and don't take anything as a financial advice because it's not. I could be wrong like everyone else. Nobody knows what happens in the future, but what we do is we position ourselves according to the probabilities. Okay. This is again a total tree, which is altcoins. Every other altcoin is right now at a very good position to be bought. So this chart indicates that, and you can see that it hasn't gone below this. which was trying, but this flipping back confirms that we should be rallying from now on, inshallah, toward the upside. Now, on the other hand, Bitcoin dominance hasn't confirmed that the market should be going down. What we have here on a lower time frame as this rejection from this zone. So if you see, this demand zone is also a very, very weak zone, which could possibly be broken back toward the downside, meaning that the sell pressure is a lot right now. So we should be expecting that. Let me clean these. These were the probabilities. So right now, these are the two levels that you should be looking at, because we are hovering between these two levels. A reclaim of this level would be bad for crypto. Going below this level will be super, super good for all our coins. Okay? Because Bitcoin could still be going up, but it means literally that altcoins will gain more momentum and they will start dominating the markets. So that's why when a lot of money comes into altcoins, this Bitcoin dominance will lose, uh, will go down. So Bitcoin loses its dominance over market right now, which is it's sitting at 59%. Now, what about Bitcoin? What did we do before? Let's go take a look at that. So before, we had a level here that I said buy here, but it didn't hit our stop loss, because our stop loss would have been something like this, which it didn't happen. Rather, it tried closing above it. Then we were expecting it to go down. Now it went again, which it says that this zone is completely invalidated and now we don't need to look at it. And I also send a signal in the community that you can either accept 0.5% stop loss or increase your stop loss to 2%, because we're still at a very good level. You can see 2 or 2.5% would give you a stop loss below this, which means that if we break this completely, then you get out on the retest of it immediately, because the price would fall and it might even just break all these levels that are below. This is where you should be paying attention and nothing else. So once we go back above this line, let me remove this. So this is how it is looking like still, with a stop loss of 2% and the TP of 5 to beyond. Like, we will see what is going to happen in this level, because it's a very critical level at $117,000 in Bitcoin. All right. Ethereum has touched this level and engulfed this, meaning that it still has some room to push back and reach these levels. So let's clear the chart a little bit. This was the level we identified that the price would fall, and you can see that it did. And we went down on Ethereum 8%. But we didn't, because we sold here and we bought around these prices right here. And you can see that there was a massive move. Now it's done. Let's now fix this and see from a high time frame perspective. This is a resistance now, and we have a level of supply here and a potential level here on a lower time frame, which you should be paying attention to. Once these two levels, starting from 4,300 to 4,400 up to like 500, once these two levels are taken out, then it will be super good for Ethereum. Right now, if you're trying to accumulate, Ethereum is sitting at this zone while it hasn't touched the zone completely. So in order for it to touch here, it's still possible. Something like this is still possible. Okay, but so far it is good. And on lower time frame, this candle could also just keep on going up. So it really depends on your strategy and how you want to accumulate. Uh, Always, if you remember, I tell you to trade inside the zone. And there's a book about it too, Trade in the Zone. And if you read that book, you will understand why everything happens inside the zone, not on a single line, because the price, fake outs of a price, the movement of whales' money and the impact that it has on the price, it could be either lower than the previous price or higher than the previous price, but it always stays inside the zone. So that was the what is it? The summary of it. Now, what is still scary that I showed you again today, and that was mainly what the warning was about, is this chart. This was a parabolic trend line. You can see that every time Ethereum was at this line, it went insane high, then it fell back to this level, then went again insane, then it fell back. But this time, it has broken this level. It tried to not do that, but it fell below. Now, could it do the same again? Yes, highly possible. What we did was we took three coins inside premium, which we invested for our long term. We diversified into those three coins, which are our holding, and we have taken a lot of profits at the top of those coins. That's why we bought them again, but it doesn't mean that we will go and buy everything just because they were at the lowest levels. We bought them, nothing else. Now, it's still there as room for ETH BTC to fall and it will take everything down. So, could we still go down? I don't know. We need to track this and say if that is going to possibly happen. You can see it's still under the zone and it has previously made a consolidation here, which shows uncertainty in the market. So, for us to accumulate a large amount of money, these are the levels that we're going to buy. Otherwise, let the market flip now. We have already invested enough, and for certain coins, we haven't, and we have already taken a lot of profits, especially on Solana, on Dogecoin, inside premium. But I also tell you those coins in the YouTube video if you are here. Wait, there's a person waiting to join the meeting. Unfortunately, I didn't see him. Okay. It seems like at this point in the meeting, everyone is at work, but here we are making money. Anyways, so are we going to see these lower levels? Quite possible. Otherwise, if it breaks, then we can start accumulating some altcoins. But if you see an altcoin, or if you see Ethereum tokens, because this is Ethereum dominance against Bitcoin, so ETH BTC. If you see Ethereum tokens in the depth, if it's in its lowest place, and if it has a good fundamental, you can accumulate those. Otherwise, if you're not sure, let this break. They could go up a little bit, but they will have a correction. Then you can invest there to be sure. But other than that, it's recommended to buy them in their lowest because when this chart went up this much, some of them moved high, and especially Ethereum itself moved. You can see that at that time this has also moved. Uh, that means that right now it's still a little bit overbought. But if this falls and Ethereum falls, those altcoins will lose more. That's why you need to be invested carefully, properly, have a system to follow. Now, let's come to Solana. Solana made a fake out here very nicely, went below, closed back here. What does it mean? You see, whenever I take profit, it means that level is very important. If it wasn't, what the hell are we doing here? what are we still doing in this level? I took profits here because I bought here. Then I took profits again here because I bought here. Because you see, it was giving me first 13%, then it was giving me 21%. It's a lot of money. You cannot make this in stocks and be sure that it's going to do. This was especially the coin that I was 100% sure that it's gonna go. How can you be so sure at this level? That's what we teach. That's what we say. It's the whale order flow because the whales accumulate in these levels. So if you are not studying, go and study. You can study from anywhere. But if you think we teach better, you can study with us too. Okay. So you see, we took profits here, we took profits here, and look, it lost back another 8%. Now we can accumulate. So now this is in a very good spot to be bought. It could come up just a little bit to give a pullback, but this is a very good candle. If you have studied in the candlesticks, this is a hammer, and hammer shows that this wick was completely bought aggressively and it closed higher than the previous candles too. It confirms buying and it confirms upper movement from here. What will it give us next as a target? First one is here again, where we sold. The other one is at this level of supply. Okay, so this is the resistance that we're going to sell. This is the supply. And the supply is looking massive. So take a lot of profits if we couldn't break this. And the break should be massive too. If the fall from this supply is massive, then a break like this would be nice. Then we can expect that the market would consolidate, then we will break higher. Otherwise, if it gets weakened here, then possibly this would happen. Okay. Okay, another friend is waiting in the meeting. I don't know why I'm not receiving notifications. I was supposed to give you guys the link with the code, but unfortunately, that didn't happen because I had to rush and come and show you guys these levels. That's the most important thing. We all should be making money. On the other hand, Solana against Bitcoin is below this trend line. The only time we can fully change our Bitcoin to Solana is here because it will outperform Bitcoin on a lot of things at that level. Otherwise, we can still expect it to come here if things go bad. We will buy it in those levels. This is at least against Bitcoin. Don't do anything else. But against Ethereum, it's going to outperform. That's why you saw that hammer inside Solana. So you see, we have the same hammer that shows that it is so strong against Ethereum that we should be expecting it to go to these levels. But once it is fully out, then it will go parabolic against Ethereum. Literally, once we are out of these, uh, this channel. So you see, it is going in its way. Then here will be the point that we will expect a large move in Solana against Ethereum. So Dogecoin. Dogecoin, I sent you guys this signal in the channel like yesterday. It was here or yesterday morning. I think it was yesterday. So I sent you this, and here we were supposed to buy. It's still there, not moved much, and it's still giving the most beautiful hammer than any other coin there. So if you want to buy a large amount of money and have a stop loss, not a financial advice, it should be Dogecoin. However, the stop loss doesn't look like it is less, But this is the most confirmed trade which you can take, and it will give you 9%, 24%, and 33%, at least going back to these 27-cent levels. Okay, so this is very, very good, but don't gamble, don't invest all your money here. With a large amount of money, when I say do it intentionally and do it responsibly, and maybe even wait for a retest if it's going to happen. But if you bought here, then you have you don't have to worry, because look at the stop loss at this level, 2%, 2.5%. You see how things change, and you suddenly your stop loss could increase if you wait for a confirmation. That's why we just buy the falling knife. Take the falling knife. In crypto, it doesn't hurt you. It will make you money, but don't do it in real life. Just move so it falls somewhere else, you know? Okay. Doge BTC, good that it's moving like this. We should be expecting a move higher. Then once we are above this trend line, that would be the place that we will see insane moves against Bitcoin and Dogecoin, because Bitcoin will be struggling at those levels, Dogecoin will be pumping. On the other hand, against Ethereum, it's at its bottom, at least this bottom, like the previous bottom. So it's a very good bottom. All right, gold BTC is going insane. Let's clean this chart because it's been so long that we're still in those levels. Have you guys wondered why I use black and white in my chart? If you don't want to be manipulated and if you feel comfortable using that, which I mostly do, so I changed this back to this because I am making the course lessons. For that, I have to show you like this for beginners, but mostly I use the chart like this. And this is because I don't want to be manipulated by the colors. Sometimes we see a green color and we think the market is going to go up, but that's not the case. The colors, it's just a matter of preference in the market, but it really doesn't mean anything when it comes to supply and demand levels. You just have to sell it even if it's green, because it will change to red. That's why I just see it this way. So these filled candles looks like the price is coming down, and these black candles is showing me that the price is going up. That's it. So right now, if we see gold is reaching this level, that so many times we had a very good run in Bitcoin when this has happened. So you see, it could still happen. One scenario, this is the worst scenario that could happen, that gold would go up and Bitcoin will go down. This is the worst case scenario. We shouldn't be expecting that. At these levels, people that made money in gold, if we are right, I'm still telling you, if we are right, at this point, whoever is owning gold, they will cash it out and buy Bitcoin. It has happened a lot of times. If you go see the entire chart, you will see this. Let me show you. This is how gold price is looking against Bitcoin. On a higher time frame, it always goes down, but the levels that you need to change it. I'm not saying that you should change all your gold if you have, or tell someone else to sell your gold. They need to do it themselves and they need to know it themselves. Never ever, when you come to crypto, especially, never encourage people to come and buy certain coins, especially your family members. But if you want to do it, tell them to learn it and do it responsibly. So when they do it, anything that happens, if they make money, it's up to them. You will be appreciated because you told them. But if things go bad, nobody, absolutely no one will come and tell you that, oh, it's because I did it. They will tell you that you brought me in this. I mean, the majority of people think like that, so I'm giving you the whole scope so you don't do this. Never ever do it to anybody. Okay, you will literally feel like a scammer. Never ever do that. They won't appreciate. So what we're looking at is gold reaching this level of supply. All these times we analyzed, but after these confirmations, it was evident that gold will go high against Bitcoin. Now, if you see, gold is going crazy, but it will stop at some point. Uh, at the moment, no. This is in another parabolic run in 4 hour and daily. It's just not stopping. So we keep analyzing this thing, and it keeps going up. So my computer has like
You're good now.
yes, you can hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes, so it has been doing this for quite some time. I think there's a problem with the network adapter. I should change that because this is really embarrassing. Anyways, so gold is a strong, Dixie is not. Um, Bitcoin, on the other hand, is good. Ethereum, not so well. This is another analysis, by the way. If I show you this, it looks much more scary, and you want to avoid everything at the moment, especially ETH BTC, because it can change anytime. You can see that in this chart, everything aligns. So most of the time, the dump will be great. Back to 3,400, or are we gonna go to see these lower levels? I don't think so. But at least if this happens, then we're gonna see this level. That's all. That is all. If you made money lately on Ethereum, you shouldn't be worried. Why are you worried? You should be happy because you exited here and I told you now the market is going to go down, then you can buy. Let's go to your questions and solve some problems. Ask me now.
I have a question for you.
Sure, bro.
Well, you see on this Ethereum Tether US chart. Well, I'm a beginner, right?
Yes.
So I see you have zones like this blue band. How do you get to choose these? Like, how do you recognize good zones and bad zones?
Let me tell you something. If you are in the chart for a very long period of time, if you see it every single day, you can see that every time it makes a new move, and no move is like the previous move, and no chart goes exactly the same way, because if you want to predict it, it will go against you. Let me give you an example on another Ethereum chart. So my analysis stays the same. Let's go and take a look at that, for example, here, since we don't have any analysis. If we go on weekly, not on weekly, I think it's on daily. Yes, here. So, what was I expecting was the same pattern, you see, but if you stay smart still, you will not get that pattern again. You see, when it's not just me that I see this. Okay, everybody see this, but now they try to predict it that okay, we have reached here, we should be buying, then we're gonna go see this. Then what is this? We didn't get to see that. It's because of these recent levels, bro. If you wanna be smart against everybody else, you need to see different things. Now, the chart is not enough. This shows you the pattern that the price is following, then it creates you these candles, okay? Then we see that, okay, where is a big move, where is a smaller move, where the price has congested and what could we expect at those levels. You see, but the problem is that when recently what has happened, that will affect the market. So we have something in the market, let's say on the market structure, let me show you here, that when the price goes up, it comes down, it goes on a structured path, right? Either this way or a little higher this way than here. You see, this is a very structured move, but when you see something like this happening, that the market moves and it comes here, then it cannot break. Okay, so these are breakouts that happens. Then even if the retest or a higher low is lower than the previous high, it's still a higher low because of this high. This is a higher low. That's why the market tries to make another high. But what people do sometimes, they're like, the price fell below this. We should expect that there might be a retest, then the price could fall down. But that's not still evident because we should be watching at these levels. You see, what I'm trying to say is when the price, for example, comes back to this recent high and you see a fake out, the sell pressure increases so much that it goes below this level next time when it comes because it couldn't make a higher high properly. It goes makes a new lower low. It goes below here. So people thought here that we're gonna go down, then it goes here. The same way when it happened to total chart. Go on 26th September video that I made. Okay? I said that every time total went below the support and made a fake out before actually moving higher. So where is the support right now? It was here. But two things were different this time. The first time, this trend line was broken, but it was not confirmed. So when the price stayed here and it gave us this signal right at this point, because I was waiting for this dump to happen, when it didn't happen, what we did was we bought here. Then we got this entire rally. Okay? Now, the next time when I exited the market was again that I didn't see a breakout. Now, what happened was this fake out that I was expecting here to happen, something like this, go below this. You can see it happened, but it happened massively because two things occurred here. One, this trend line that broke here was retested here. So if you see it from this perspective, this is the trend line, right? The price broke, then it retested just a little bit higher, then it fell below, making a new low. But again, instead of closing here, because if it would have, the body of the candle, it would have closed here, we could have expected a retest here, then more move toward the downside. But since the body of the candle closed back to this level, we say that this was a fake out and this is the correct demand and we should be buying this level instead of selling. I hope you understood, but as long as we trade inside these zones and watch every day, not every hour, not every 4 hour, every single day when the daily candle changes, it shows us the direction of the market. It's just that simple because in the morning when Allah gives rizq, then course of the entire day is determined. This is what I believe. Right in the morning. So if you're awake, you will see it. That's the secret. Wa alaikum assalam, Michael. Do you have any question? Did I answer your question, Nasim, bro?
Yeah, yeah. I will be watching this video because it's still a little complicated, but to an extent.
Yes, so that's why I'm telling you because you are newly learning supply and demand and support and resistance. These newly zones, we always take a fresh zone. The two new lessons that I'm going to upload, I am literally talking about these fresh zones. You can apply the same method on support and resistance because if you see a support was here A resistance was here or here. Now there's a resistance here higher than this. Because if we take the body of the candle and the line chart as well, if you see, it's here. But previously it was here. That's what changed. The recent prices, it changed everything. The support is here, the new resistance is here, then the next support is here. Instead of here and here, it's here. One is here, which is fine, but we still take the zone just in case because anything could happen. But the next one is here instead of this price and that price because they were previously broken and they're weak. Okay, let's see. A 1.5 minute, almost 2 minutes left. So let me know. How are you, brother? Thanks for the reminder about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Giving rizq in the morning, subhanallah. Takbir, bro. Allahu Akbar. Yes, bro. Indeed, he is the originator of the universe. Uh, Fatir as-samawat. So he does everything. He originates everything right in the morning. And he says clearly that everybody's sleeping at that time. But if you're awake, you will get to know some things. But you should be that sure, and your iman should be that strong. And even if you don't get, you know that okay, Allah is trying to test me, but He will also take care of me. So nothing is wrong about it. Nothing will go wrong with you, inshallah. So the meeting time is going to be over. I will soon, inshallah, upgrade my Zoom because all this time we didn't need it, but now I have to. So, inshallah, I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day. Take care.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.